Okay, so these were a couple of cuts that I had to make for Mrs. Kapper on one of her recent projects for Matt Jennings. And this is a hinge cutting that Mrs. Kapper stumbled upon. But you see all the new shoots coming out of this tree. When you hinge cut like this, it's to provide more habitat and more cover at the same time, because as these trees lay down sideways, often a lot of shoots will come out of them kind of sideways from that trunk laying down, and it provides a lot of browse for the animals and more cover. Alright, you will definitely want to stay tuned also for my next deer vlog. This was just last night, January 6th, and this beautiful 4-year-old came out and he put on quite the show. And I tried to harvest him, but you'll see the difficulties of filming and trying to hunt at the same time. Alright, squirrel hunting would be way too easy on our property. However, they are a valuable resource as part of my prepper plan, so every now and then it's fun watching them. And Mrs. Kapper was in the woods, and these two, I suspect they were trying to find a little private spot to make next year's squirrel batch, but no one can say for sure.
Alright, well, I'm out in the woods shopping for trees, and look what I found. This is a red cedar that has obviously been laying here for a very long time. Hard to tell on the picture, I know, by the size, but gosh, that diameter across there, at least 24 inches. But look at the roots. Look at that root base. Wouldn't take a whole lot to get that cleaned up. I don't know, make a table out of it, flip it, or just keep it as a log with some feet on it. And lucky for Mr. Kapper, it's actually located right by the driveway. No excuses there.
So here we are, January 7th. We had 2 really nice days, and now we're back to the cold and the wind and the rain. So hopefully this is a fast one, because it's been like, you know, out of every 5 days we get 2 days of rain. That's what it seems like. So let's hope it clears up again. Maybe we can get something else done around here. Okay, today is January 7th, 2019. And I just got my new Stihl chop saw. Josh Beckett gave me the idea. Thanks, Josh, on one of my last videos. But I've got a lot of Stihl cutting to do. And to be honest, I've needed one of these forever. So with the antenna project was my excuse to finally get one. So I'm looking forward to putting the Stihl chop saw to use. So stay tuned. Okay, so here we are, January 1st, and me and Mrs. Kapper were in the house, and we're out in the woods right next to the shop where she pulls up a bunch of her dead cedars and stuff, and she's like, "There's a deer stand there that you put up." I said, "No, there's not." And she goes, "Yeah, there's a deer stand. I remember you put it up." And I said, "No, there's not." I'm like, "I didn't put one up." So I'm like, "Let's go for a walk then." So, well, it's not raining. So let me show you this little patch of woods here anyways while we're out here, and kind of the fun stuff we get to do. Okay, so there you could see the pole barn, and by the way, when we came in here, this is all sanctuary ground in here, and I did a bunch of hinge cutting that way. We kicked up about 6 or 7 deer. But we were both kind of right in a way. She was right, yes, she found a deer stand, but it wasn't mine, and I remember that we found this 2 years ago. So there is an old deer stand. The ladder is still good, so I'm going to have to come back and grab the ladder. I need either another ladder or bring the tractor with the bucket or the excavator, or strap it back on and climb back up. But let me show you the chores that Mrs. Kapper is lining up for me to pull out her cedar trees and get them out of the woods and try and figure out how to hang them so they can dry. Alright, so she has these little tree piles. You can see that one and that one there. These are all dead cedars, which are the easiest to work with for projects. So I have to come into the woods here, which I made a little road through here with the excavator. Alright, and there's the newly opened trail. She's got to dry up some in the sun. Last winter or the one before. So I got to come in and pull that pile and that pile there. But we're talking about making a hanging device across some of these trees in an opening so she could hang them to let them dry.